This is Small Town Underground here with the muster point on January 28th as we are documenting the Patriots for Colton Rally, the assembly that is going to take place here. It's a little bit, I believe, after 9 o'clock or really close to. We're on the second floor here. As you can see, this is some of the people that have shown up today in support to let our state senator into the House chamber. A lot of activity here today. I believe we have something to do with aesthetics today, that they just had a rally point here on the steps, and it's lively today. There's a lot of people here, a lot of little small groups in the area, and a lot of wonderful patriots here today, and especially I like this guy right here, Fire Burns. That's a good one. It's a good one to have. So as we're just out in the crowd today, looking around at everybody. So how are you? How are y'all doing? Jennifer, what brings you to the Capitol here?
My state senator, Colton Moore.
And what do you expect today? Are we here for a rally? Or how do you feel about the way that John Burns banished him from the House chamber?
I think what he did was unconstitutional, and he deprived us of our representation, and I think he should be held accountable along with all these other rhino, corrupt, brotherhood-type, mafia-style politicians.
Amen, I hear you. So,
I'm with this guy with the sign that says Fire Burns. Yeah.
She says she's with this guy, Fire Burns. So, yeah, let's get a good shot of him. How are you doing, sir?
Doing great, thank you.
This is Roy Hamry, Small Town Underground. What brings you to the Capitol this morning?
Well, in support of course, in support of Senator Colton Moore. Burns, what his actions and everything he's done, and including his attorney, completely unacceptable, unconstitutional, and ridiculous. If this is the way that we continue to go, we're not going to have any freedom. This doesn't happen in Georgia, no longer. And I am calling for Burns' resignation as well as his attorney.
Cool, that's awesome, man. Where did you come from today?
Alameda County.
All right, what's your name?
Maxwell Britton.
Well, thank you, sir. I'm actually in Senator Moore's district. I'm from District 53, and I appreciate you being here on behalf of us.
Yeah, I know Colton personally. He's a great guy. He's done wonderful things for us. And even though I'm not in his district, he's helping me. He's helping all of us, and he's helping America.
That's right, he is, sir. Well, thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Happy to be here.
All right, thank you. Wow. All right, we just got more. Let's see that sign. Oh, yeah, there we go. Look at this. Look at all this support. Great. Good to see you guys from Catoosa County, Walker County. Very nice, very nice. There's a ton of support here. This is wonderful, wonderful. Good morning. Good morning. Oh, wow, listen to that. That's wonderful, wonderful.
Great work for America, and that's what I appreciate. All this stuff that's happening is absolutely unconstitutional, and I can't fathom that it's happening in the state of Georgia. We just got to keep calling it out. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you. I appreciate it. Good
Good morning, Senator Moore. Just a quick, how are you feeling this morning, sir?
I couldn't be more proud of Georgians for coming out today and recognizing that they are the ones who give Burns and all these tyrants power. It's not the tyrants giving the people the power. So it's so encouraging. It's like a battery reboost coming to the Capitol today. So, Roy, I couldn't be more excited.
Awesome, man. We're here to support you, and we're going to make sure you make it through those doors peacefully and constitutionally today, sir.
I appreciate that very much. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Good morning. Hey, good morning. How are you? Good. How are you? Good to see you. Good to see you.
I haven't met him yet. I'd love to meet him. My bad.
All right. Will you state your name, please?
Ray Blankenship.
And what brings you to the Capitol this morning, Ray?
I'm here to support my Senator Colton Moore this morning.
All right. And tell me what you think. Are you a part of his district?
I am definitely a part of his district.
What do you think? What do you think about what happened last week when he was assaulted and arrested for going in the chamber?
Not very happy, because the thing of it is, when he got thrown down, it was like I got thrown down. And, you know, the worst part of that is it's more like my wife and my daughter and my son got thrown down too, because they voted for him as well. I mean, everybody that he represents got thrown down that day.
That's right. That's right. That's right. So we thank you, Ray, for being here this morning and showing your support for the 53rd.
Yes, sir. It was my pleasure.
Thank you. All right, here we are, Michael Gargiulo. Michael, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. Thank you for having us. Michael Gargiulo, Senator Moore's Chief of Staff. This is a great day for Georgia. We are restoring the rights of the people of the 53rd District and representing 200,000 people and making sure Senator Moore and his constitutional rights are respected today. So thank you for being here. Thank you to the hundreds of people that are here supporting the senator, and we're excited to see freedom on display this morning.
Yes, sir, Michael, we thank you for all that you're doing. And what do you think moving forward? Can you tell us anything about, we know that John Burns has lifted this ban only for the joint session. Is that correct?
Yeah, we actually don't know what he's lifted. Everything that he's given us in writing says that the ban is in effect. He put some announcements in the press. We don't know what he's referring to when he says House property. Is a senator allowed to go to his committee rooms, represent his bills in the House? All of these things are still up in the air, and quite frankly, somebody, the Attorney General, should have come in and said that this was unconstitutional from the get. And we're unfortunately dealing with the ramifications of what happened still. And he's got a criminal charge against him right now. And that still hasn't been dropped and dismissed.
So let me ask this. Is any of the upper executive branch of this legislative, the governor, any word? Is anybody talking to you guys or giving you any kind of semblance of involvement? I mean, has there been any kind of anything from them?
It's been pretty disappointing, to be honest. We haven't heard from the governor. We have heard from the lieutenant governor. He expressed that statement the day after, which, I mean, thank you, but you're, a year late and $1 short, as I said. You should have said this when the ban came out last year, and now that something's happened, now you're trying to backpedal and cover your own booty. I get it. The Attorney General, we sought an emergency opinion. He didn't respond. I mean, the executive branch has been not helpful.
That's very troubling. So just to make sure, we're pretty confident that Colton's going into the chamber today to do his constitutional duty, but you still have not been given a guarantee of that.
We believe the Constitution will be followed today. We don't know for certain. We are definitely on our P's and Q's. We've asked everybody to assemble peacefully and respectfully as the Constitution allows. So, we're very much hoping that the senator can go in there and represent the people today. But right now, there are no guarantees with anything in this Capitol, as we saw last week.
Wow. Okay. Well, thank you, Michael. We appreciate everything that you're doing here, and we're in full support. As you can see, we got a room full waiting to see this happen.
Thank you for being here, and thank y'all for what you do, spreading the good word across Georgia and the country.
All right, this is Roy here with Joanna Hildreth. She runs the Catoosa County GOP. And good morning, Joanne. How are you?
Doing well, Roy.
Good. I just want to thank you for your resolution that your GOP put out, the statement about John Burns and about how we've been affected up here in the 53rd. And I just want to get your take. How do you feel about all this?
Oh, well, in the 53rd, we're furious about what happened to Colton. I mean, as soon as we saw it, our blood was boiling. That's our voice down here. So, and also, I've talked to a lot of people here today, and they feel like he's their voice too, even if they aren't in the 53rd, because he represents conservatives around the state.
That's right. I'm also in the 53rd, and I see a lot of people from all over Georgia that's coming here. Let me see your sign really quick. What does it say? It says, Colton Moore is my senator, Colton Moore is my voice. Amen to that. Well, we appreciate everything you're doing up in Northwest Georgia for representing us and standing with Colton Moore. But we really appreciate it.
Well, we're glad to, and we're going to keep standing with him. I mean, we know that this could be a long fight, but we're in it.
We sure are. Thank you, Joanna. All right, I want to state your name, please.
Jan Weaver.
All right, Jan, what district do you represent today?
I'm in Colton Moore's district.
Right.
Proud of it.
Proud of it. All right, thanks. Let's see your sign. Let's see, Colton Moore's. That is an awesome sign. And so let me ask you, how do you feel about all these events that have unfolded with our senator?
I think what happened was a vindictive act because Speaker Burns was upset that Colton said the truth out loud. And, you know, I'm sorry that it offended people or hurt the family or whatever, but it is absolutely the truth. And the victims who did not get justice matter. And they matter a lot. And we should not elevate and put on a pedestal a person who robbed victims of justice. And it is over and over and over again.
That's right. That's right.
I just think it's wrong. And I knew Colton had taken that stand when I voted for him the second time. And I was very proud of him.
Good deal. And so do you expect there to be any problem this morning with him walking into the chamber?
Oh, I think the animosity toward him is great because cowards do not appreciate someone with courage.
That's right. And it looks like we got one heck of a crowd, and a lot of people aren't even here from our district that are here to represent today.
Right. A lot of people are sick, so I know a lot of people who wanted to be here.
Well, we certainly thank you for being here, Jan, and look forward to being upstairs in a little bit.
It's an honor to be here and stand with Colton.
That's right. Thank you, Jan.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Many gave his only begotten Son, shall not but have everlasting life. Paul added in 2 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 21, he made us, made him who sinned to become sin in us, together by trusting Christ for salvation. Righteous, then we are empowered by His Spirit to live righteously. The only way we can love God's people
well, if you go that way, you keep going right, you wind up right back here.
is to do
Roy. My name's Ben Perkins, and I love watching you. So good. Thank you very much. Right. So we got any late because of traffic. Is there anything?
That's not her case.
Yeah.
I don't know if she did or not, but I was fine.
You're in the right spot.
I got it.
Jeff, they're doing roll call now. So.
Yes, sir. I think so. Okay. You follow along. Who would be pissed off?
Please.
Hey, Colton.
Yeah, you're right.
Obvious, huh?
For the state employees?
No, or I guess it's the other thing.
We're just going to make sure you get sick.
Okay. Oh, get the phone out. I'm the one that said make sure you got your phone out.
Scoot over here.
Get a picture of that.
Daddy, Mike said don't have this.
How are you?
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
I was told 150 would go.
All right, so small time. Thoughts and observations.
Well, I'm filled with joy. I'm glad that we had such a great turnout. I'm glad we had so many people that came. It's wonderful to be here to represent somebody who represents us so well. I mean, I don't know what to say. The whole thing was ridiculous, unconstitutional. It's a shame. It's a stain on the state of Georgia. And these people should be ashamed that this ever came to this, ever. And I'm just so happy that it's we the people that have made the progress here to allow this to even happen today. So it's just, I'm ecstatic.
I know it's pretty crazy. We get a couple weeks ago, a man in a woman's bathroom, but you can't get a senator in his on the floor.
We witnessed it. We witnessed men using the women's bathroom here in the state capitol, and yet they're wanting to assault a senator, a sitting senator, trying to fulfill his constitutional obligations in a joint Senate. I mean, it's appalling to me. Where are we at? And we have a Republican majority legislator in the state. What are we doing here? What are we doing here? So it's beyond me.
All right, small town underground.
Oh man. Okay. So it happened. He has made it in. Tons of people. Let's get some more people here. All of these fine people that have made this possible. All right, this is Small Town Underground here with Sandra Beard. And Sandra, how you doing today?
I'm doing good. How are you, Roy?
I'm hanging in there. So what brings you to the Capitol? Just first tell me what you think about all this going on.
Well, I was not at all happy of what happened to Colton. That was just very wrong. So I'm here today to support him, let him know that we are with him.
Good. Now, you're from Floyd County, correct? All right, so I know that we've got some interesting things going on in Floyd County. You care to comment on anything some current events we're looking into?
Well, we are fighting a dirty swamp in Floyd County. We're uncovering things that are shocking. We're just going to keep fighting. We had a win this week. We got the school board to go back on. They were wanting to opt out of the homestead exemption, and we got them to change their mind.
Really? So you're saying that Floyd County is going to stay in?
Yes.
Wow, that's incredible. We've been watching that on Floyd and Whitfield County. I know there's been iffy, so Floyd County is going to stay in.
Yes. I hope all the counties surrounding us, will put the pressure on the school board because, if you look at the budgets of these school boards, and I've had so many teachers or, people that work at the schools, so that money's not going down to the classrooms. And that's the big issue with us. If we're going to pay that kind of school taxes, the kids need to be getting the money. I found out in Floyd County that of all the property school taxes that we pay, none of that money goes to fund after school care. And that is a very vital, needed program for parents. Parents that pay property taxes, school taxes. They should fund that before these big fat salaries.
I agree with you. I agree. I'm sort of I like to see all taxes abolished. Obviously, we have to have them, but I think ultimately HB 581 is sort of a step in the right direction for people that have lived there for a while. It's not going to affect anything that people are flipping property or anything like that. They're still going to make their assessments, but this to me helps out the community more than anything. And why the school board would want to opt out of it is insane to me.
Well, I can't figure it out either, Roy, because unless it's to protect their big fat salaries.
Well, we know we have a problem with our education system and the way it's set up and the school boards being separate, and it's things that we're all had to bring to the public so that we can fix them, right?
Yeah, I wish people could understand that, the power is in the people's hand. We are above the public servants. We are the boss. And if we had a unity among citizens that just understood that they have those rights and, dig deep and get some courage to, defend those rights, what a wonderful world we would live in.
That's right. Well, Sandra, thank you very much, and we appreciate you coming down to the Capitol today.
Yes, sir. Thank you for being here.
Just talk to Perry Byers here for a minute. So Perry had brought his 12-passenger van and volunteered to bring some people down from the 53rd District. And for starters, just want to tell him how much we appreciate that he did that to be down here. So Perry, how are you doing today?
Oh, I'm doing great. Rode down with a bunch of great people today, so it's been good.
Yes, it looks like a good group of people. So what do you make of today? Just give me your thoughts on the overall story here. You know, our senator was kind of kicked out of the chamber. He's entered today. How do you feel about all this?
I think it's a shame. There's no reason for that to have happened. And I've heard some people say Colton should have taken care of that before he walked in, but that's not his responsibility. He has every opportunity to go in there, and he should have been allowed in there, I believe.
Sure, and I'll add to that. I don't understand why we don't have the leadership under the Gold Dome that could have taken care of all this, because I know that both parties had reached out the day before. They were, letting everybody know where they were stood on this, and we had no leadership get involved in any of this.
Yeah, it's just not right. Took a lot of input away from our community that Colton's able to share, and he didn't have an opportunity to do that. And so I appreciate all the people that showed up today to show support to him, and he acted like he was appreciative of it also.
All right. Well, listen, Perry, we thank you so much for volunteering your time to come down here to the Capitol and walking through the door. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Hey, this is Gary Ramey from up in the 53rd. So, Gary, you give me your overall. What do you think about today? What do you think about this situation?
I think it was a great turnout today. A lot of people turned out for Colton. We're all trying to fight for Colton because he's trying to fight for all of us there in Northwest Georgia.
Right, and showing that they allowed him back in, how did that make you feel?
It feels blessed, very blessed.
Feel like you got your voice back?
Yes, sir, I do.
Well, good, Gary. We appreciate you coming down today and in support of this. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, let's see. I'm going to let him introduce himself. Who are you?
Mike Nolan.
All right, Mike, and you're from the 53rd, right?
Yes.
So tell me, what are your thoughts on everything that's happened leading up to this point? How do you feel about this situation with our state senator?
I feel a lot for my state senator. He's a good man, and I hate it for what happened to him. When you stand up for what's right and conservatism, and then people goes against you, that's not good. And you believe in God and the country. And Jesus is still the king.
That's right, man. I just want to tell you how much we appreciate that you came down here today and your support, and we thank you, and it's good to see you.
I appreciate you too, brother. You have a blessed day.
All right, so here's somebody I want to introduce. So introduce yourself, Matt.
Matt McClure.
All right, and who is this sidekick you got by you?
This is my daughter, Emma McClure.
Hi.
Hi, this is your first time to the Capitol, right?
Yes, sir.
What do you think about it so far?
It's big.
It's kind of a circus in here today, isn't it? All right, so both of you guys are from the 53rd District. So, Matt, give me your outlook. What do you think about this situation with Colton Moore leading up to this?
Leading up to this, it was outrageous. It should never have happened. I guess we just create charges and charge people with it. I don't know. I didn't know that's how we did things here in Georgia, but we're seeing it more and more, and just wanted to come down here and support him today.
And how do you feel now that we've been down here? I thought it was a great turnout. Felt good. How did it make you feel to have him go into the House chamber today?
We got our foot in the door. So that's the way I look at it now. That we can't stop here. So I look forward to see what we get done now.
That's right, man. And I just want to tell you how much we appreciate you coming down. You guys got the van down here today, a good group of people, and we thank you for being here with us.
Thank you, Dory. Thanks for setting us up.
Gerald.
Hello, and state your name.
Melissa Johnson.
Melissa Johnson, are you from the 53rd District?
I am.
All right, and so tell me, Melissa, how do you feel about everything that you've seen? You know, we've seen Colton get assaulted. He was kicked out of the chamber, and now we've let him back in. So what do you make about all this?
When I saw the video at first, I just couldn't believe this was happening in Georgia. I was like, could see it in D.C., but in Georgia I was very shocked. I can't believe they literally threw him on the floor. So I'm outraged because if they can do it to him, they can do it to me. So yeah, I'm here to make sure that it doesn't happen to me or anyone else, because everyone is equal, not because of your beliefs, but because you're an American citizen. So
that's 100% right. And it's a shame that we're here under Republican-led legislation, Republican-led leadership that didn't even get involved in this. What do you make of that? What do you make of the fact that we've not had some behind-the-scenes legislation, or at least a meeting that they allowed this to happen?
I'm lost for words, which is shocking for me. But I just am like, if this was the other way around, what would be happening right now? So yeah, we need to do something.
Absolutely. I think we've had a show of a peaceful assembly of force here. Let them know that we're not scared to come down here and let them know. So
that's right. Yes.
Well, we appreciate you coming down today and supporting Colton and our 53rd district with us. So
thank you.
All right, here we are with
Deborah Gordon.
All right, Deborah, and you are from Whitfield County, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, so we're asking people today, what do you make of this situation from start to finish? What's your overall view on how our senator has been treated and how this thing transpired?
Absolutely unconstitutional. An infringement of our First Amendment rights that he was banned in the first place. And then secondly, to be treated like that, to be thrown down, was not right. And I hope he's going to sue. But more importantly, our constitutional rights were trampled all over because he was representing us in Northwest Georgia.
That's right, 100%, and it silenced a lot of our voices, nearly 200,000 people.
Absolutely, and that's unacceptable. We are the people, and they are public servants, and I think that they forget that quite often when they come to the Capitol. It's all about their self-interest, their power, and more money, and that's not what we elected them for. So.
Well, we certainly thank you for commenting, and thank you for being a part of this today, so it's nice to meet you.
Thank you so much for doing what you do. We appreciate you.
All right, thank you.
David Nahabedian.
All right, man, and you're from the 53rd District, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, so tell me, what's your overall feeling from start to finish here? What's your view on this whole situation with Colton?
Well, what they did to him was absolutely ridiculous. It doesn't matter if you disagree with somebody. He's there to do a job. He's there to do your job and speak for me, my son, my buddy Billy. He's here to represent all of us, and he has the right to be there, and they can't stop it.
Absolutely, absolutely. It was unconstitutional. He was trying to do his job. He was assaulted. He was arrested and jailed. So what do you make of today now that we've watched our senator go back into his duly elected position, go into the chamber, do his job? How do you feel about that?
I'm glad that you didn't give him any problems. I hope moving forward that he's allowed in the chambers, or I will be back here again.
And what do you make of the leadership under the Gold Dome? So obviously the leadership of this Gold Dome could have, they could have fixed this entire situation behind closed doors. They could have nipped this in the bud, but there's hardly any response. What do you make of that?
We're in the middle of Rhino Central. That's pretty much about the size of it. They do what they want to. They don't care about their constituents. They're more worried about lobbying and lining the pockets.
As we can see. Well, David, I just want to tell you, I appreciate you being down here today. I appreciate you being here and supporting all this, man.
Absolutely.
All right, sir. State your name.
William Beals.
And what brings you down here today?
I come down here to back Colton Moore in his efforts to get in.
All right. Tell me your thoughts on this situation. What do you think from start to finish?
I believe that anybody has a voice. Freedom of speech is one of the most essentials in this country. It's why the Constitution was written. And when an individual does not agree with what somebody has to say, then that's debate. That's all it is. It's just it's a misunderstanding between two people. But when somebody kicks somebody out just because of his stance on it, he should be fired immediately. No buts or maybes about it.
Absolutely. And what do you make of the leadership that could have, they could have handled this situation where it wouldn't have got so far out of hand, and then we still haven't heard much from our leadership. What do you think of that?
You're standing in Atlanta, Georgia, libtard central. Sorry about it, but just going to give you guys a heads up. If you take us somewhere where it's a little bit more conservative, we might be able to have a better voice.
Well, listen, man, we certainly appreciate you coming down here today and being with us and watching our senator go through the chamber door.
No problem. Have a good day.
Oh, wow. We're here. This is Colton. Real quick, I'm going to talk to him. He's just now left the chamber. How do you feel, Colton?
Well, I tell you what, I personally, I don't believe had the hundreds of people from all across Georgia not shown up today and the thousands of phone calls against Senator or John Burns, we wouldn't be allowed in. Truly, this was a testament to the people, reminding these tyrants that the people are always in charge. It is the people's house. And Chief Justice Boggs, I don't know if you guys got to see the state of judiciary, but he made sure everybody knew that the guy with the biggest stick didn't get to bully everyone around. And I couldn't love the comments more. Very proud of Chief Justice Boggs.
Well, thanks, Colton. We're going to let you get on your way. We appreciate it, brother.
You're a favorite. I know, right? No, they're not. They're all here to see us.
Right below me here is John B. Gordon.
Oh, I know. I've already said you're doing good. Go for boy. Help. Yes, sir.
Ned. Ned. Let's go ahead and do me. State your name.
Ned Yates.
Ned Yates, it's a pleasure to have you down. It's a pleasure to be with you down here at the Capitol today. So I want to pick your brain. What are your thoughts on this whole deal? How do you feel about it?
Well, it's a question of the Constitution and freedom of speech, and it is very improper for anybody to restrict my representative from entering a joint session to hear a State of the State addressed by our governor and deny my representation there. That's as blunt as I can put it.
Absolutely, and we just now witnessed Colton coming out of the chamber. Everybody seems to be in good spirits. So how did that make you feel to be down here today to watch him go in?
Good. I just, a lot of lobbyists and special interests, which I just don't get.
Understood. There's quite a bit going on down here today. So, well, Ned, thank you so much for being down here. It's always a pleasure.
Thank you. You have a good day.
This is Roy Hambrick here. Some of the chamber's been let out, and we're here with Majority Leader Senator Steve Gooch. Steve, how are you doing, sir?
Hey, I'm doing well. Good morning. It's good to see you down here at the state capitol. Thank you for being here.
Yes, sir. I wanted to talk to you just about a couple of things. Number one, HB 581. I saw the podcast you did where you were laying out. We've been trying to really get the word out. I really appreciate that you are trying to break some of these narratives on it. And it looks like some of this is working. Some of our counties up in Northwest Georgia that were really leaning towards opting out, or I'm hearing just this morning that they're going to stay in. So tell me your thoughts on that.
I'm glad to hear that, and I think it's because of people like you that are helping us get the word out. Communities around the state are just now learning. Obviously, it passed, in a big way last November on the constitutional amendment. Almost 2/3 of Georgians voted for some tax relief and some relief from the increased values. It doesn't necessarily lower your taxes, and it won't lower your taxes unless spending gets cut and the millage rates drop. So we're encouraging people like yourself to get out, get the word out, show up at these public hearings where these local governments are having to put this out for public comment. The decisions have not been finalized, so it's not too late. If you haven't been to a public hearing yet, I encourage everyone to get out and do that. Let your voice be heard, because once they make that decision, it is too late to reverse it.
Okay, and that's absolutely correct. We've got to get involved. Senator, what could we possibly look at? You know, a lot of Georgians, a lot of citizens feel like that we're just completely overtaxed in this state, right? Obviously, we've got to pay tax. We've got to keep the bills running. But what other ways do you think that we can mitigate taxes, or at least eliminate some of these taxes that are so burdensome in the state? We do have a heck of a $15 billion surplus where Georgia is growing by leaps and bounds. What are other ways that you guys can work together to help ease that?
That's a great question. And here at the state level, we're doing that. We're sending money back to where it came from. And that's the hardworking Georgians that paid the income tax over the last few years. For the last 3 years, we've cut the income tax rate in Georgia, and we're doing it again this year. Governor Kemp already announced that just 2 weeks ago in the State of the State address, and we had a press conference on it as well. We're giving back another $1 billion in refunds on people's tax returns. So if you paid Georgia income tax last year, you'll get a $500 refund this year if you're a jointly, or let me correct that, if you're a married couple filing a joint return, you'll get a $500 refund this year. We want to continue to roll that income tax rate back to zero. We'd love to get to zero. It's going to take some time to do that as we continue to grow our economy. I think when more business creates more jobs, and we can do that, and that's our plan. At the local level, I encourage our local government officials to take a hard look at where their waste is in the government at all levels, and cut the taxes, cut the spending, and reduce the millage rate when we see huge increases in values like we've seen just in the last 3 to 5 years. Just 2 years ago alone, we saw a 20 to 30% increase in values on most homes around the state. And a lot of the local governments didn't roll back the millage rate like they're required to do by law. Instead, they kept the millage rate the same. And so they can go out a lot of times and say, well, we didn't raise your taxes because your millage rate didn't change. Well, that's not true. If the house value goes up 20% and the millage rate stays the same, you're going to see a 20% increase in your taxes. We call that a backdoor tax increase. This bill that we passed last year that goes into effect this year is a way to help minimize some of that, mitigate some of that huge increase on values.
Okay, obviously, Georgians are seeing it, and we do appreciate that. I'm going to just move really quick about, just tell me your overall thoughts. A lot of us are here from District 53. We saw what happened to our state senator. I just wanted you to comment. What do you make of this whole situation?
You're talking about with the Colton Moore incident 2 weeks ago. It's very unfortunate. It could have been avoided, was unnecessary. I'm glad that the Speaker and Senator Moore have resolved their issues. He was in the chamber today. I followed him in at the front of the line of senators that came over right behind Lieutenant Governor Burt Jones. We all took our seats. We heard from the Chief Justice. He did a great job explaining some of the needs and concerns of the judicial branch. Senator Moore sat in the room like everybody else, like he should, and he was constitutionally allowed to do. And so we're looking forward to moving forward and solving the issues of today and in the future for Georgia.
All right, Senator Gooch, I appreciate your time, and thank you for what we're doing. We're really excited to see what's going to come out of this legislative session.
Thank you for being here, and we'll see you soon.
So I got a twofer here. So I'm going to start out with you. You state your name.
Jamie Halsey. Scott McNabb.
All right, I'm going to ask you all the same question. I'm going to go first with you, Jamie. So just give me your thoughts on this whole situation. What do you think about what we're down here today for?
Well, fortunately, we're down here in the house of the people, you know, the place where we're supposed to have freedom, support our freedom of speech, and supporting Colton Moore, who had freedom of speech taken away and even put in jail. To me, that's likes of a third world country and more communist type thing to do that, and to quieten up our representative of Northwest Georgia is the wrong thing to do. And all I can think is if they can do it to a state senator, they can do it to any of us, and we're here to make it known, speak loud, that we won't stand up for reducing our freedom of speech. And what is the main part of our Constitution, I believe, is that freedom of speech, and especially when you're telling the truth of things. So that's why I'm here.
What about you?
I'm here with Mr. Halsey. I heard this was the house of the people, so I came to visit. And I guess after last week, watching Colton be thrown to the ground, I kind of took it personal to make sure I attended. There again, I'm 63 years old, and I've never witnessed anything like that in my lifetime. So that's why I'm here.
All right, well, there you go. Hey, guys, we appreciate y'all being here. So many
good for putting this out to as many people as we can. More people need to get involved. Thank you.
Absolutely, guys. Thank y'all. All right, I want to get in on this.
Being allowed in the chamber today, what are your thoughts and reactions?
Well, I'm certainly pleased that he was able to get into this house today without an issue. But certainly my letter that I sent to Speaker Burns stating that Keith Williams needs to be fired immediately. Of course, it has gone on deaf ears, and mum is the word. And that is not where I want this to end, because he caused major problems against a sitting elected state senator. And if it can happen to Senator Moore, it can happen to anyone.
So what would be your call to action, just like for the people or whatever? Is there anything people can do to support what you believe need to happen next, or what needs to go on next? What's next?
I would like everyone to continue calling and emailing for the removal of John Burns, but the issue is that since the House elected him as the Speaker, we have to call for his resignation. And at this point, we do not have those types of votes.
All right, well, thank you for what you're doing.
Yeah, and I'd just like to say your resolution was fire, and we loved it. We appreciate it.
Let me ask you this, Charlie, this on subject but off subject. So what drives you to do what you do for the people? Tell the people what drives you.
What drives me are the people, because this is the people's house. And also, my favorite quote is, if you're not at the table, you're on the menu. And I want to be at the table when they start doing a lot of garbage around this Capitol.
Wow. Yeah, thank you so much. It's always a pleasure.
Reactions, just what's your thoughts and reactions?
He should have been there the whole time. This is exactly what should have happened. I'm glad Liberty won the day today and common sense. So super happy with it, and everybody coming out. I mean, that's huge. Having our grassroots here, that makes all the difference. I always tell people, if we as citizens pay as much attention as we do to sports,
All right, state your name.
Jeff Conley.
Jeff Conley, and what brings you down here to the Capitol today?
Well, I follow people that care about our world and our county, and so I supported Walker County and our Senator Colton Moore, and came down today to make sure that he had a good day and that he knows that he's cared for and supported.
All right, so tell me your thoughts real quick. What do you think about this overall situation that we've just watched unfold from last week to now?
Well, it's really good that we had the opportunity to come down and talk to other legislators and know that that situation should never have taken place in this house, the people's house, and that it could have been diverted, taken care of, settled before it came to the conclusion that did happen, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think you're right. That's one sentiment I think I'm going to leave here today with, is the fact that everybody pretty much agrees, even on whatever side it was on, it should not have taken place. So how do you feel, though, being down here today and watching him walk in? Did it make you feel good?
Very much so, and he spoke to everybody, and he really did make an effort to make sure he spoke to everyone. He spoke to me, and it was great to follow Small Town Underground and make sure that that they have what did take place, and that this is the house of the people.
Yes, sir, and I just want to tell you how much I appreciate you being down here. I appreciate you helping with the equipment and just being there, and it's people like you that make all the difference in the world, Jeff.
Well, I just love working together. That's what.
Thank you.
The legislature legalized unverifiable voting in 2000.
Like you said to Trump, but they're getting booty.
They said, go out there and rob these houses and bring back the bounty, and then that'll pay your way.
Because Republicans who get endorsements from Georgia carry that they mean anything.
You can't sit on the sidelines any longer. You must get involved in the game. This is your sign.